continues his level of discourse on his own dime, and he raises some funds whenever he can. He does have a link on his site, so please support his site whenever you can. I am not wasting time. He is very gracious to allow me to do this weekly stream, podcast, whatever you want to call it, just to review his site. And he's been around for a long time. We've all gone through things in our lives. And the unique view and perspective that a lot of us who think the same way will have a keen eye on seeing what is going on in our society that is reflected sometimes. But certainly, in the news, the messaging is very quick. So please sit back, relax. We're just going to keep playing some more stuff. I don't even know if you can hear me or how loud this is. Maybe that was a bit better now. Can you even hear me? Maybe I should have tried that first. There we go. Hey, welcome. Welcome to Occam's Razor. There's a bit of a pre-show just before we start the show in about 4 minutes. Thought we would take you through what we've been doing on our website. Since the 19th, we took a week off after Parliament shut down, and then we got right back into it. We've had our weekly streams with Blazing Cat Fur. We've also been putting out a Sci-Fi Saturday series. The last episode was a review of the Lost Regiment books by William R. Forstchen. We've also been putting out Top 10 Mark J. Carney Notable Abuses of Power, followed by the Top 10 Liberal Government Abuses of Power. Parts 1 and 2 are out. Parts 3 through 5 will be out before the end of the year. After we do today's broadcast, a follow-up from yesterday's The Christmas Cookie. Today's stream, after Blazing Cat Fur Fridays sometime today, will be How the Trout Killed Christmas. It's a follow-up from tales that were written back during my tour in Afghanistan. And of course, we also have our site on YouTube. Same videos. And we also have our food channel, food and gardening channel. We did a little recap of some squirrel activity in the garden, just for fun. And we're slowly cobbling together some highlights of the growing season to put together for the new year. A lot of highlights, a lot of the little episodes had little quirks and things that popped up throughout them. And they're the more enjoyable parts, I guess, that you could say, those daily live streams that we did, covering the garden's growth every single day. And of course, Rumble works differently, of course, because you just go straight here to the channels. And you can see that, of course, the gardening channel is there as well. Well, we're slowly coming up on the time to start the show, so we'll just go back to the intro. And once our intro starts, we'll be right into the show.
Kids all wish away the month 'cause
Bring that down. There we go. Right on. Welcome. Welcome to Occam's Razor. My name is Jill, and this is Blazing Cat for Fridays, where we do a cold read through of the best news aggregate for an unobscured eye on current events. I'd like to thank BCF for posting these live streams and for his tireless commitment to publishing a site every day coming up on 20 years in February. So please support his site. We are streaming on 3 platforms, Rumble, X, and YouTube. So please give us a like, thumbs up, follow, share, subscribe. Most of all, the chat is up across all 3 platforms. So please feel free to ask anything, comments, drive the algorithm. I'm not driving it down with my forbidden words. Of course, if you're watching this on repeat, please leave a comment and you will get an answer. This veteran appreciates your support. Please visit my channels and share. So let's go straight into this cold read through. As usual, I have not looked at his site. So we're just going to go right back up and we're going to do a quick refresh. And there we go. Outstanding. There's our link. We'll just wait for the rest of this to come through my limited ability with the internet out here. As you know, out here in Quinte West, we have the 8-wing Trenton, and for some reason, the base here has a lot of issues with absorbing a lot of bandwidth. Oh, I see. We only have the Rumble link. There must be something going on with our embed again. I must have not looked at my email. Sorry about that, BCF. Well, this is going to drive the viewership down as it does every week. I think we're going to have to switch to a better embed. This seems to be a problem with Rumble all the time. We're going to have to send them another email. Why are my Rumble embeds not working properly? Okay, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Man carjacks Washington State Patrol lieutenant's car. Watchman shoves Seattle cop to the ground, steals her patrol car, and flees. Suspect now in custody. Let's have a quick look. Up audio. And is there audio? What is going on? Well, I guess it's better than hailing a cab. Well, this is the state of policing, it seems. Just, sit in your cruiser and wait. Just, block all the traffic. Like, did you even think of getting out of your car? Or, oh, well, I guess he'll just let you get out of your car. Oh, well, that's policing right there. Wow. To serve and protect. There are over 1 million more Epstein files that will be released in the coming weeks, Department of Justice says. Oh my. The Department of Justice has said that there are over 1 million files related to Epstein that they are actively working to make public in the coming weeks. The DOJ said on Christmas Eve the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York and FBI have informed the Department of Justice that they have uncovered over 1 million more documents potentially related to the Jeffrey Epstein case. The DOJ has received these documents from SDNY and the FBI to review them for release in compliance with the Epstein Files Transparency Act, existing statutes, and judicial orders. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Bumbling crooks go to insane lengths to try to rip off ATM and still end up empty-handed. Oh, here's from the Fast Dudes post on X. New Merry Christmas to everyone but these two in Texas. The White Settlement Police Department is investigating a failed Christmas Eve ATM theft where 2 masked suspects used a stolen SUV and cable to rip an ATM from a 7-Eleven, causing massive damage. Well, see if this plays. Years of slicing away society to Marxist ideology has deterred, decreased the amount of civilization and respect for authority, destruction of morals and ethics. Wow. Well, did you get your goods? Whoa. Whoa. Oh, man, that was a bad day to show up to get gas. Oh, it's a good thing they got those bollards around the gas tanks, or else they could have just sheared those lines right off. Crime is taking new lengths. Carney reflects on jump into politics at an important time. Key subjects in here in review. Yeah, an important time for his financial portfolio, that's for sure. And an important time for his friends' financial portfolios as well. With the final days of 2025 rapidly falling to the wayside, Canadians are likely taking stock of the last 12 months. The past year has seen some rapid changes in the political scene, most notably in the Prime Minister's chair. This time in 2024, Justin Trudeau was still mulling whether to stay or to step aside. His ultimate decision to resign paved the way for Mark Carney to take the helm of the Liberal Party and country, later securing his role as Prime Minister in April election. Yes, indeed. And it's interesting that how everybody just magically forgot all the abuses of power that the Liberals did for the past 10 years and elected this guy. I think we know why. Because of their hate propaganda campaign. Teacher likened to terrorist after showing Trump videos to students. Wow. When showing videos of your country's leader is considered likened to a terrorist, what have they done to these people's brains? A teacher in English school was accused of posing a risk to children and referred to the government counterterrorism program after showing Donald Trump videos to his U.S. political class. The teacher, who is in his 50s, was told Telegraph he was likened to a terrorist after showing the videos, including one of Mr. Trump's inauguration to A-level students. This is the lengths of manipulation of hatred that the left uses to break people's brains. U.S. officials cites NGO, non-governmental organizations, hate speech label for residential school denialism when announcing free speech sanction. Oh yeah, the U.S. Department of State has announced sanctions against a number of individuals, including the British head of Global Disinformation Index, Claire Melford, whose organization issued a report this summer listing digital denialism, Canadian residential school, as one example of hate speech that harms democracy. Undersecretary of State Sarah Rogers linked to a September 25 GDI report on hate speech in Canada in an ex post to announce Melford's travel ban, saying that GDI has interfered with speech on American platforms, including by labeling opinions that question the nature of Canadian residential schools as hate speech. Exactly. This is how cultural Marxists do it. You silence people by using threats and intimidation, and eventually the judicial system, if you can manage to do that, and then you have your political prisoners, and eventually that always leads to violence, which is what they need to socially transform society. And they push and push, and they don't care if they break the law along the way. They've been pushing so hard now, they have all their people in the right positions. Except they didn't count on this. They didn't count on being sanctioned and exposed globally every day now to this point, whereby, oh, you want to act like a fascist? Sorry, you're not welcome in the United States. Dozens of federal lawyers disciplined for misconduct in first ever report. Really? A newly released report reveals that 37 employees at the Department of Justice faced discipline last year for misconduct, including falsified credentials, harassment, and a fraudulent insurance claim. Blacklock Reporter says the first annual report on addressing misconduct and wrongdoing at the department, released Wednesday, details 27 formal cases resulting in measures ranging from written reprimands to firings. Well, I guess lawyers have slowly gotten out of the central view as being the most hated people on the planet and being replaced by media. That we just haven't been paying attention to their misconduct as much. But Blacklock has, because they are independent media. They are not. Do I still have to link up? Yes, they are not QCJO. No, they don't take money from the government. Therefore, they're not controlled by the Liberal Party. If your civic duty to reject the nation of immigrants propaganda you learned, sorry, let's read this again. It's your civic duty to reject the nation of immigrants propaganda you learned in school. America is not a nation of immigrants and never has been. But there has been a generations long effort to make Americans feel a false sense of camaraderie with culturally unrecognizable people from all over the globe. Yeah, that's they must have been copying what we've been doing here in Canada. Every generation for the past century plus has been told the same thing. The United States exists to save the entire world's less well-to-do by bringing them here and allowing them to experience the American dream. It was an argument made by politicians and members of the media, to be sure, but government schools made sure to mold young minds into believing the nonsense as well. Well, somebody has an opinion piece here on this. Islam in the West, time for divorce. Wow. Isn't this all the stuff we were writing about 20 years ago? Is it finally catching up? Have all the warnings finally started to come true? Are they finally starting to pay attention to all the no-go zones that continue to increase in amounts, not decrease in amounts in European nations? And seeing that, some of the violence that's been happening on our streets as a result of particular group of people complaining about another particular group of people and doing it loudly on the streets as if it's right next door when it's not, like a problem that we've imported here into Canada. Islam is simply incompatible with Western civilizations. That couldn't be more evident considering the 2025 Christmas and Hanukkah season. We get it rubbed in our faces time and time again, with one massacre after another. These aren't just lone gunmen who go nuts. These are organized terrorism cells. Bondi Beach, a massacre allegedly committed by two Muslims, father and son, is only the latest example. San Bernardino, California, was the scene of a similar massacre by two Muslims, husband and wife. 19 Muslims backed by the wealth of other Muslims gave us 9/11. Only Islam commands its followers to kill the infidels. As a result, we constantly see two or a lot more Muslims banding together to kill the infidels. That's us. And what's that? Oh, can't see the link on that. All right. Oh, and of course, there's our post that was sticky here on Arnie's site. Merry Christmas, everyone. And of course, as I wish you the best of the days surrounded by loved ones and feasting lots and lots of feasting. This Christmas, please to keep readers T.A. Cat and Xavier Cugat in your prayers. These are people who post here and support BCF. T.A. Cat has some serious health woes, so please let her know we care. XE's mom will spend the day in hospital, though there has been good progress with her heart condition. Well, that's all good news. On Christmas, I am thankful for our little community and for the opportunity to share some Christmas with you all. And here, BCF has posted some carols, as he usually does. Here's China's economic miracle was built on mass displacement. Well, if you go to history, a lot of economic miracles throughout the years have been caused by mass displacement of populations, if not just out conquering them. It's been a common thing in history. If you look at history throughout Asia and Europe, where if an entire area was enslaved, then all the people are just moved out. So mass displacement is not something new. And if, authoritarians like the Chinese communists are doing it, well, big surprise. Editors note the Bureau is publishing the following testimony to Canada's House of Commons Committee on International Human Rights and Human Lieu, a China-born Washington, D.C. based democracy advocate who testified in Parliament on December 8, 2025, about the human cost of China's economic rise. Submitted to the Bureau as an op-ed, Hughes' testimony argues that Canadian government should tighten scrutiny of high-risk trade and investment and ensure Canada's foreign policy does not inadvertently reward coercion. Hughes also warned that the Chinese Communist Party could gain leverage over Canadians and treat them as it has done to its own subjugated population. An implied message to Prime Minister Mark Carney, who has pledged to engage China as a strategic partner without making that position clear to Canadians during his election campaign. This is what Carney wants, says BCF here. And of course, we can see this reflected in their policy. And of course, they have financial ties. And of course, we just had a certain member who may or may not have connections to the CCP just not have any morals or ethics and just switch like that and then go over to the liberal side in Parliament. Yeah, yeah, we know what's going on. Is this the end of the non-crime hate incident? Well, if the U.S. has their way in continuing to ban people who act like fascists, maybe it will. Christmas has come early for free speechers. News broke last night that police intended to scrap the recording of non-crime hate incidents, practice so authoritarian and yet cosmically stupid that only Britain's speech police could possibly have come up with it. Yes, I guess they're getting tired of being compared to being Muppets. Cruel Yule. They hate Christianity, so of course they hate Christmas. Perennial Yuletide favorite, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, was introduced in 1944 MGM film Meet Me in St. Louis. It's a bittersweet song sung by Esther Smith, Judy Garland, to her little sister Tootie, Margaret O'Brien. At a point in the story when they think that their family is about to move to New York from their beloved home in the Gateway City. The melody was by Ralph Blaine. The lyric by Hugh Martin began, Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year, all our troubles will be out of sight. Ooh, well, this has got to be a nasty little piece, as they probably delve into why all the Christmas markets keep getting attacked every year by certain people who don't appreciate other cultures. Rule of law rejected as Canada increasingly embraces racism. Well, it's been inculcated into the ideology. There's somebody will always be more equal than others in cultural Marxism. And we have actual racism built into all the structures in government right now. They won't hire people of a certain color because it doesn't meet their diversity quotas. Okay? We know that the natives in Canada have a separate justice system. So justice doesn't apply to them the same. We've seen legislatively change the legislation so that people just aren't treated the same in court anymore. And judges have actually come out and said, "Oh, well, if we impose these lawful conditions on you by law, you might not be able to stay in the country because you're here illegally." Like, what's going on in Canada? Judge reduces sex criminals jail because of his race. Yeah, see? Reads the headline of one news report. Nova Scotia First Nations bans premier from Indigenous land in week of cannabis crackdown, reads another. Nigerian immigrant, oh geez, you do this to me every week. Omogo, Omagbolahan Jejedi. That's as best as I can do. He's 25, a former university football player, was found guilty of assaulting two women in 2022 and 2023. One of the women was choked almost into unconsciousness. Another was forced to perform oral sex while her movements were being forcefully controlled by him. He was sentenced to only 2 years in prison. Well, well, well. Oh, look, well, we stopped some time. I think we're going to go to the next page. And we have, there we go. Trump tells small child that his authorities track Father Christmas to make sure we're not infiltrating into our country a bad Santa. This is the moment Donald Trump tells a child in American authorities are tracking Father Christmas as he doesn't want a bad Santa infiltrating our country. He told the child in Oklahoma during the annual tradition of calling children all over the U.S. We track Santa all over the world. We want to make sure that Santa is being good. We want to make sure that he's not infiltrated and we're not infiltrating into our country a bad Santa. Okay. Oh, there's even a video on this.
All over the world, we want to make sure that Santa is being good. Santa is a very good person. We want to make sure that he's not infiltrated, that we're not infiltrating into our country a bad Santa. So we found out that Santa is good. Santa loves you. Santa loves Oklahoma like I do. You know, Oklahoma was very good to me in the election, so I love Oklahoma. Don't ever leave Oklahoma, okay?
Okay, I'll try.
I thought NORAD used to track Santa. What happened to that? Or they don't trust us to track Santa anymore? I wouldn't be surprised. Are Muslims Britain's future? Well, if you look at the names of the children in their classes, the proof is in the pudding. Stately school blasphemy protests, Islam Muslims UK, an assertive new generation puts faith first. That first figure strikes at the heart of the so-called integration paradox, the idea that as ethnic and religious minorities become more integrated into economic and social mainstream over generations, they will do away with their ancestral and faith-based identities. Yes, the old magic dirt theory. This opportunistic theory has been blown to smithereens by the British Muslim experience. Just like Adnan Hussein, a former solicitor born in Burnley, younger Muslims are not only more likely to be born in the UK, educated as British universities, and work as white-collar professionals than their elders, they are also more inclined to identify with their faith. There we go. Federal Employee Department disciplined 629 staff for misconduct last year. I wonder how that compares with the percentage that you might have with people being fired on Main Street for acting incorrectly, and what few businesses are left in Canada. Canada Federal Employee Department has disciplined hundreds of workers last year for misconduct ranging from chronic absenteeism to fraud and theft. Newly released records show as Ottawa attempts to counter growing public skepticism about accountability in government. Well, yes, because they're seeing the politicians grifting all the time and nobody's holding them accountable. So they're thinking, hey, what does it matter? They don't have any morals and ethics, so why should we? Blacklock's report says, according to the Department of Employment's annual disclosure report, 629 employees were disciplined in 2024 for breaching the values and ethics code for the public sector. So that was for 2024. And we're just wrapping up 2025 now. I wonder if that number's gone down. Should Jesus be a part of Christmas? Here's what Canadians think. Guys, what is the Christ in Christmas? Poll's most striking finding is the ambiguity about why Christmas is celebrated in the first place, as a major Christian holy day or as a major modern civic winter holiday. There are two kinds of Canadians whose usual views about the importance of Jesus in Christmas celebration place them in quirky but significant minorities, according to a new poll. First, there's the 10% of Canadians who do not believe in God, but all the nevertheless think it's important to remember Jesus at Christmas time. The second group is the 18% of Canadians who affirm a belief in a God, but do not think it is important to remember Jesus at the festival of his birth. Yes, the slow decline of the West. Sarah Huckabee Sanders spars with atheists over Arkansas state Christmas proclamation. Arkansas's Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders is being praised by conservatives for her handling of a demand from an association of atheists and agnostics, miffed by her decision to include the theological account of the Christian story of Jesus' birth in her official proclamation closing state offices for Christmas. The spat kicked off when Ms. Sanders, who served as White House press secretary during the first Trump administration, announced that state offices would be closed an extra day this year December 26th, in celebration of Christmas. Well, good for her. You know, Christmas followed by Boxing Day have always been traditional holidays in our Western civilization that was established on Christian morals and ethics and those values. Journalism is totally broken. Yeah. Oh shit, Sherlock. As we gnash our teeth about the corruption of the 60 Minutes journalists who are whining that they can't spread propaganda without scrutiny anymore, let's recall the problem is not limited to a few bad apples. Pretty much the entire barrel is rotten. If you pick through the apples in there, you will find that there are still edible or even good. For the most part, a lot of them should just be thrown out. Some of the biggest stories in the past few years in our neighbor to the north is the fake scandal of the state-sponsored and church-run residential schools for their native population. Yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg on the propaganda that we have been subjected to up here in Canada, if your view is from down there in the United States. Just keep beating them. US, just keep beating that northern media. Just keep exposing them for the hypocrites that they are, because the limited what the algorithms do to the independent media and streamers that don't follow the narrative doesn't get through to the majority of the people. And it doesn't matter anyway, because the majority of them have already been so bloody brainwashed, you just cannot get through them. He, she, it, offended by people saying Merry Christmas and ushers a stern warning. Oh, yeah, I think we can dispense with this goofball or that goofball or is, oh, that's right, we don't know what it is. Okay. Canada bill targeting refugees feared to signal new era of U.S.-style border policy. What do we mean, U.S. style? The border is the border. Border is language and culture. If you don't maintain your border, you don't have a country. And that's why the Liberals have allowed unfettered access through our borders. Canada's Liberal government is pushing through sweeping new legislation targeting refugees that observers fear will usher a new era of U.S.-style border policies, fueling xenophobia and the scapegoating of immigrants. Well, see, this is purposeful messaging, right? They broke the system on purpose in order to create this crisis so that they could put out BS like this, to say that anybody who criticizes them breaking the immigration system and then bringing in more draconian rules, instead of just removing all the BS that they put in, they just went back to what worked in 2015, which is really what we want. No, they won't. They're just bringing in new rules, make it even worse. And they did this on purpose. Oh, there's another reason for digital ID. Yeah. Bill C-12, or Strengthening Canada's Immigration System and Borders Act, includes many changes around border security, along with ineligibility rules for refugee claimants. It was fast-tracked and passed through a third reading in the White House Commons on 11 December before members of Parliament rose for the holidays. If it receives Senate approval in February, the bill will become law. Yes, that is unfortunate if it gets royal assent, because hidden within the bill, like they do this all the time, are also the ability for people who've just been here for like 3 years and have a bunch of kids overseas. All their kids are now going to become Canadian citizens. Yeah. So they don't tell you about that in the story. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. We all have one relative. Maybe you are that relative. Okay, well, let's finish with that, and then we will close off the show for the day.
I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody said, "Oh, that's not politically correct." I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay?
Yes, everyone has their private thoughts, and some of us don't care if we say them out loud. Well, thank you all for coming out for Cat for Fridays, Lazy Cat for Fridays. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Boxing Day. Let me look at the calendar here. Are we even back before New Year's? No, we're not. We'll be back on the 2nd, which means Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. And may all the best things that you want to happen for you and yours come true. And until next time, bye-bye.
happen.